COVID consciousness is all about feeling safe amidst all the chaos. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mystical Mastery Mondays with me, Vic, your favorite meditation and self awareness strategist. And today, we're going to talk about what does it take to feel safe during this time of COVID and everything that's going on. And if any of you who are watching or are watching on the replay, if if you've had a tough time feeling safe during COVID, during this chaotic time that we've been dealing with this year, drop me a drop me an emoji or write the number one in the comments, and so I know that this is really a tough time for all of us to deal with. And so the number one thing I really want to get into around this topic is understanding that we have a vibration, right? We have an energy field. And just like there's x-rays and radio waves and all these things that we can't see, we also can't see this energy field, but it exists. Okay? And this energy field, the things are that that are a part of it are the way we take care of our body. So the way we eat is important, and the way we exercise, like exercising often, and really getting our body into like great shape and putting the right things in our body to be healthy. Right, that's an important part of our vibration. But even a bigger part of our vibration is the emotions that we keep, the emotions that we're feeling, that we're always emitting. Really, really think about it. Our thoughts create our emotions, which we don't realize are literally emitted out of us into our energy field. They say our brain, scientists say our brain has an electromagnetic field, and our heart has 1,000 times the electromagnetic field as our brain. So you think, you feel, and these feelings are literally coming out of you into this energetic field around you. And so if we go into germ theory, right, which is the scientific theory that all disease is created from pathogens, bacteria, viruses, and all these kind of things. And what germ theory also says that it's the environment and the genetics of the person or the body that that affects um, that affects if the body's going to be affected or not. And so and so what that environment is has a lot to do with our energy field. Our energy field is our environment, is the place that we're keeping this vibration, right? And so if you were to think like if when you're in fear, when we're in fear about everything going on, our mind is going into survival, and so it's sending the signal to our body that we're in a state of fear and there's a threat happening, and so your body goes into a survival state, and it's literally sending all of your energy uh, to your extremities, to your arms and legs, because it thinks it needs to like run, fight, or hide because there's a threat occurring at the moment. And what that does to your energy field is it shrinks it, it drains your energy field. And that causes your cells to, your DNA in your cells, to create less efficient proteins to repair and restore the body. So if we're staying in a constant state of fear, this is detrimental to our body, and this is even bigger than the food and the exercise, because this is the greater aspect that's creating our energy field. And when you're actually feeling safe, right, when you're in a state of love, when you're in a state of joy, when you're in a state of gratitude, when you feel that you're okay, now you're in a higher vibration. This is loud. Now your body has more energy to function better. So the DNA makes better proteins to repair and restore the body. And so it's really important during this time to not only eat well and to exercise and to even follow the COVID guidelines, whatever that is really that will help you make you feel safe so that you can stay in the state of safety, and you're giving off this energy. And so it's going to be a lot more difficult for COVID or any virus or pathogen to affect you if you are staying in a higher state of gratitude or joy. And so how do we even do this, right? and so as you're doing this, and as you're checking off all the things that you need to do to that'll make you feel safe, and that can go as far as even, you're in your house and you're not going to meet up with a lot of people and do all that stuff, and that's cool. But if you're doing all these things that is helping you feel safe, but you're not feeling safe still, well, then that means that you have a trigger, that you are in a trigger. And COVID has been a very triggering time for a lot of people. So if you're doing a bunch of things to feel safe and secure during this time, but you're still not feeling safe, you're still being stuck in fear, well, you're gonna have to notice that that is you in a trigger. And a trigger means that there is a stored emotion in your body, probably something from your past. We Most of us never really learned how to process emotions, so we've repressed or suppressed emotions, which are literally physical energy, and if not expressed, they get stored in different parts of our bodies. And so when we're in a trigger, the way to really deal with it, and I've talked about this in previous videos, is that you want to take your attention off whatever you're putting your attention on that's causing you to trigger. So if it's COVID, then then let go of COVID. Or if you're upset at somebody, or if you're blaming or judging or dealing with some issue in your external reality that's causing you to feel this way, then you let go of that external reality and you go within, and you really put your attention in your body and ask yourself, where am I feeling this? Where am I feeling this emotion? And you might feel it in your throat, you might feel it in your heart, you might feel it in your gut. It can be anywhere. And really close your eyes and go into that space and ask yourself, where is this coming from? And allow it to come. And the resistance from doing this is that it's really uncomfortable and painful. And it's because a lot of pain that we've lived with that we didn't allow ourselves to feel. And so now, if you allow yourself to kind of go into this feeling and allow this feeling to come up and experience it and live in sit in the uncomfortability, sit in the pain of whatever you're feeling. This process of allowing yourself to do this is actually releasing that emotion. And when you finally release the emotion, it may take, it depends. Sometimes it depends on the emotion. It's really deep rooted. It might take a while. It might take, 15, 20 minutes, or it might keep popping up. But the more you are aware of it and get into feeling of it, you're going to release it. And then you're going to feel so much lighter. I always like to give the analogy that we're like emotionally constipated. And when we finally go in and feel that emotion, we're releasing it and we feel lighter, just like we took a poop. It's an emotional poop. And when you feel lighter, when you've released that, you've heightened your energetic field, right? You've freed up this energy to allow a stronger energetic field. And from that place, it'll be easier to feel safer, to get into a more safe feeling, more safe vibration. And that's not to say that once you do that, it's over, right? Like, there's a lot of triggers. There's a lot of things we've held on to. There's a lot of thought patterns that we've gotten from our parents that are not serving us. And there's a lot of things that we have to constantly keep going back and being aware of. And the more you do this, the more you're going to have a stronger energy field, a more positive field, the more you're going to have an ability to choose to feel safer and to choose to put your attention on things that you're grateful for and that you love, because that's important. It's so important to feel a better feeling, to feel a better vibration than fear during this time, because fear is actually the vibration that's allowing allowing your body to be susceptible to diseases. And so the third thing I really want to talk about is mirror neurons. everything that we are, every information that we are putting into our brain is programming our brain to think in a certain way. And it's a concept called mirror neurons in science, where everything we're exposing ourselves to is literally programming us in some way. And that's so like the news forever has focused on the fear of any situation. And so the news is always going to be pumping out a lot of fear, right? And if you're being consumed in that and and I get that there's a need to feel cautious, and I'm not saying don't be cautious. You get the information that you need, but there's a balance to like how focused you're going to be on that information. You can understand it and make your decisions and take your precautions, but if you're constantly looking at the news and fear-based information, well, you're just constantly programming yourself to be in fear. While if you're more aware of this, then you're going to be choosing more to focus on different things, going into nature, or focusing on things that you're grateful for, or doing things that you love. And the more you focus on things like that, the more you're getting into better emotional states, and the more that's affecting your energy field, and the less susceptible you're going to be for diseases. And this is a system. Our body is a system that we've been given. It is divinely orchestrated. It is powerful. It is You just need to learn how to use it the right way. And the problem I think with most of us, including myself, is growing up we never learned this. And so I we go into this when you really become aware of this, you kind of go into this journey of uncovering all of these fears, all of these things coming up, getting into the feeling of these emotions so that you can release them and be at higher vibrations and have more ability to stay in a higher vibration. And emotions are addicting. They really are. Like when you start like we really our thoughts really work on momentum. So if you just, keep following fear-based ideologies, you're going to be addicted essentially to keep looking at that. And the same goes the other way. If you start programming yourself to focus more on the love and focus more on generosity and safety and feeling those kind of feelings, well, that's going to be a different thing. And so as I'm saying, as I'm trying to stress to you guys, is that more than the guidelines that are being put out there, it's so important to be aware of vibration. It's so important to eat healthy, to exercise. And even more important to that is to be aware of your emotional state and get into a place of figuring out how can change your states? How can you do that? A few things that I would recommend are things like meditation or breathing exercises or things like sound healing or energy healing like Reiki. And a lot of these things play a play a significant impact into your emotional well-being, which is going to make your energy feel stronger, which is going to make your body stronger because your body's going to create more efficient proteins to keep restructuring your body to a much better state where you are going to stay healthier and no virus, no no bacteria, no pathogen is going to be able to affect you when you're able to maintain a state like this. This is a process. This is not an overnight thing, but this is something, in my opinion, that is not being talked about enough, and it's important, right? And remember, if you can't get out of a certain feeling, if you can't get out of a certain fear-based feeling, you're probably in a trigger. So you want to go in and feel that emotion. You want to go in and tap into wherever that is, or even a lot of times we'll get a memory when we go into feeling that emotion, right? And then when you tap into the memory, you can kind of get more insight on where this is coming from. And the more and more you sit in that pain and uncomfortability, the more you're going to be free from it. And the last and probably one of the most important things that drives the energy is the information that you are choosing to allow yourself to take in. And it's really important to drive your thoughts, to drive the information you're bringing in to a more positive state. You don't have to focus on COVID and the stuff that's going on. Be aware of things that are going on. Do everything that you can do to feel safe And if you're not feeling safe, let go of the emotions. And so I appreciate everybody putting their comments. Bill, William, I appreciate your confirmation. This is the truth. Thank you, Ulka and Shashan. I was pretty much healthy before, so I know my cyst on my wrist vanished simply because of my more positive state of being after divorcing my husband. Totally, right? Sometimes we're in unhealthy relationships, right? Sometimes there's so many other aspects that also cause this, and we got to be aware of it. Like if there's relationships outside of us that are causing this, well, is this relationship the right one for you to have, or is this the situation that you want to stay in? Well, that's the stuff that you got to start asking yourself when you're really getting in to understand how you feel. This is so significant. This is so big. This is your power. My goal, um, my goal for even expressing this is to share with you that you have power over everything that's going on, and you just have to learn it and apply it for yourself. So, for those of y'all watching the replay, would love to hear your comments. Thanks everybody for being here. That's all I got today. And always remember to be here right now where depression and anxiety cannot exist. Thank you.